Shetani ashinde mfululizo. 5,000 types of lies.
The greatness of a nation.
To speak truth to power.
Hi guys, how are you today? Thank you so much for tuning in to Sikiliza TV. My name is Wilson Ochar, and today's topic of conversation, I'd like us to talk about the Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket loading, where Mizani Africa poll shows that Senator Edwin Sifuna and presidential candidate Honorable Musyoka are the favorable candidates to win the next 2027 general elections. And many Kenyans have asked, is a Kalonzo-Sifuna alliance already in the making? And could it reshape the 2027 general elections? And if you're watching this channel for the first time, please subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on our political debriefs. And to our loyal subscribers, thank you so much for always tuning in. This channel would not be where it is today if it wasn't for your support. So let's just watch this video, then we're going to return and break it down.
Wenzangu, tujiandae. Naona Taita Taveta atakuwa mfano wa chama chetu cha Wiper Patriotic Front. Kila mmoja wenu hapo kirudi, kumbuka your polling station, anza committee pale. Na kuwe na ofisi katika sub branch ambao ni ward, kuwa ni branch ambao ni Mwatate. Hapa Mheshimiwa Patel, PK. Hapa ni kwako, si ni kweli? Huyu bwana amekuwa mwaminifu kwa chama. He became majority chome, mjumbe wa Voi, ambaye alikuwa amejaribu mara moja mara mbili. Sasa Voi ni zone ya chama cha WPF. Wangapi wanaamini hivyo? Na tutarudi wakati ya campaign, mtaniona nikionekana tofauti. Leo huyu Kalonzo mnamwangalia, akirudi atakuwa tofauti. Takuja na wenzangu. Kwa mfano tutaanza tarehe 24 hapa, tutakuwa hapa Voi, timu yote. Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, tumpigie makofi. Atasema anakuja kusikiliza ground. Wale hawajui Mheshimiwa Gachagua ati wanamweka maneno machafu. Yeye ni mwanademokrasia. Yeye tumezunguka na yeye. Nimeona huyu jamaa anapenda watu yake sana. Wakati walisema ati mambo ya shares, ni hivyo ndio alikuwa anazungumzia chama chake na Ruto wakati huo, UDA. Alikuwa mwanachama wa UDA. Sasa yeye ni DCP, anasikiliza ground. Atakuja hapa, mtamkaribisha. Atakuja pia bwana Fred Matiang'i wa chama cha Jubilee. Atakuja pia ndugu yangu Eugene Wamalwa, leader wa DAP Kenya. Atakuja Justin Muturi, aliyekuwa Attorney General wa Kenya na waziri na hata na speaker. Atakuja pia Sifuna. Gen Z hai. Gen Z hai. Sifuna atakuja bila shaka. Sisi ni timu moja. Sisi ni wana one term. Si ni kweli? Wana one term hoye. Lakini kwa sasa kuna kazi muhimu anataka kusuluhisha ndani ya ODM. Ile ODM ya Raila na mimi tulianza ODM Kenya, tukagawanywa. Sasa hiyo nafanya tena hii. Megawanywa, kuna ODM imenunuliwa na Ruto, lakini Sifuna wenzake wamekataa. Wakisuluhisha mambo hayo, bila shaka tutaungana pamoja. Si ni kweli? Kwa hivyo asanteni sana, naona mvua imekuja. Mungu alikuwa amenipimia tu nimalize. Tena niwaambie wangapi wanataka turudi. Asanteni.
Kwa bunge miaka mingi nilikuwa na ango ya Sifuna, lakini nimewatch huyu kijana, ngoja nimwite hivi. Kama kuna jasiri Kenya hii ni huyu kijana Senator wetu. Ana ujasiri, haogopi. He is a communicator. Kwa mambo ya uongozi, ndugu zangu, if the time comes na mimi niwe katika mahali naweza kuchagua waziri wa mambo ya nje, that will be Edwin Sifuna. Asisemi ni lini, he is most qualified because I know kwanza yeye anaelewa na sheria. Sifuna zindi huyu. Tena huyu Sifuna, let me be honest with you, I'll say this today, Mheshimiwa. Whatever it is huyu jamaa atataka Nairobi hii Kenya hii apatiwe because he's able. Na sijui haja niambia anataka nini, whatever it is he wants.
Kama uko na kura weka mkono wako juu. Weka mkono wako juu. Haya, na hii kikosi ambayo iko hapa, mnaona hiyo lori hapo juu. Hiyo lori ya Linda Mwananchi imeandikwa lindamwananchi.com. Tunataka uingie hapo useme mimi ndio Sifuna. Ndio tujue tuko wangapi. Kuna namba tunangoja ifike. Kuna namba tunangoja ifike pale kwa lindamwananchi.com.
Yeah, guys, so from that video, you can clearly see during his recent tour in Taita Taveta, Honorable Kalonzo-Musyoka made a statement that sparked national debate. This came after Gen Z supporters openly called for Senator Edwin Sifuna to join Wiper. And Honorable Kalonzo's response was Sifuna is currently handling issues within ODM, but when the time comes, they will be united and working together. And that single statement has triggered speculations because many Kenyans have asked, is Kalonzo-Musyoka preparing Sifuna as a potential running mate? And also recently, the Mizani Africa poll has added fuel to the fire because head-to-head simulation shows that Kalonzo and Edwin Sifuna garnered 73.6% of the polls, and Ruto and Kindiki garnered only 26.4%, which raised the major question: can online popularity translate into real votes in 2027? Because social media momentum does not always equal electoral votes. And many Kenyans have also reviewed as the Sifuna's factor, in that Senator Edwin Sifuna is emerging as a key political force. He's popular among the Gen Z voters. He's bold and outspoken. He's increasingly seen as a national figure. And Kalonzo-Musyoka has previously praised Sifuna publicly, even suggested he should be given whatever he wants. Some have interpreted this as a potential green light for political partnership. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what are your thoughts about Honorable Kalonzo-Musyoka's remarks about Senator Edwin Sifuna. Is there a potential green light for political partnership between the two? Let me know in the comment section. I'll appreciate your comments. Yeah, guys, so the big dilemma is who leads the opposition, and the big question many Kenyans have asked is who will lead the opposition ticket, because there are two clear possibilities. The first option is Kalonzo-Musyoka as the presidential candidate. He is more experienced as a political leader and has a strong Ukambani base. And his potential running mate, Senator Edwin Sifuna, has a strong youthful appeal, rising national profile, and commands the Gen Z support base. Some polls suggest that Sifuna is becoming a preferred opposition figure, which creates a dilemma. If Sifuna runs, does Kalonzo step aside? And if Kalonzo runs, does Sifuna accept deputy president? And the opposition challenge is that there's lack of unity in the opposition and the candidate selection conflict. Because if Kalonzo leads, some say opposition momentum may struggle, and if Sifuna leads, Kalonzo risks distancing himself. And either way, the opposition vote risks fragmentation. There's also the Matiang'i-Gachagua question, where many Kenyans have asked, where does Dr. Fred Matiang'i fit in all of this? And former Deputy Rigathi Gachagua, what roles will they play in the united opposition government? Because will Mount Kenya rally behind one candidate, or will Dr. Matiang'i demand a slot? And can all factions agree on roles? Because without alignment, regional votes could split even further. And the numbers games is also a factor that the united opposition need to look into, because in Kenya, to win the elections, you need 50% plus one total votes. And if we break it down from the 2022 voting pattern, it shows that Raila Amolo Odinga's opposition strongholds were the Coast region, where in Mombasa he got 58%, Kwale 70%, Kilifi 71%, Tana River 54%, Lamu 52%, Taita Taveta 72%, and therefore if the united opposition are to defeat President William Ruto in the Coast region, they'll need to gain at least the amount of votes that Raila Odinga obtained and more. And the same applies for Northeastern region, where Raila Amolo Odinga gained 74% in Garissa, Wajir 62%, Mandera 78%. Therefore, the united opposition will also need to attain at least these numbers and more. And in Eastern region, we have Kitui 71%, Machakos 74%, Makueni 78%. It's believed with the Honorable Kalonzo-Musyoka on the ticket, these numbers are already in the basket. And then we also have Rift Valley, where Turkana, Raila Amolo Odinga got 66%, Samburu 59%, Trans Nzoia 52%, Narok 51%, Kajiado 51%. And therefore the Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket will also need to obtain these percentages in the Rift Valley region, where President William Ruto is considered a stronghold base of Rift Valley. We also have the Western region, Kakamega 71%, Vihiga 62%, Busia 81%. If the Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket needs to defeat President William Ruto, they will need to obtain these numbers. And with Senator Edwin Sifuna on the ballot, it's believed that these numbers are already in the ballot. However, there's still opposition from Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi and Speaker Moses Wetangula, who are siding with President William Ruto. Therefore, Western region seems to be divided. That means more. Effort to be put into Western region if Senator Edwin Sifuna is going to be on the ballot as a running mate. We also have the Nyanza region. Siaya County had 98%, Kisumu 97%, Homa Bay 98%, Migori 84%, Kisii 65%, Nyamira 61%. This is the Nyanza region, where the united opposition will also be required to have at least this amount of votes. And with President William Ruto currently with partnership with ODM, it's going to be very difficult for united opposition to gain this much votes from Nyanza. And with Dr. Fred Matiang'i commanding Kisii and Nyamira and Migori, where Governor Simbarati also seems to be dividing these Gusii region votes with Dr. Fred Matiang'i, then the Nyanza region seems to be very much split and difficult to attain the whole amount of votes that Honorable Raila Odinga obtained in 2022 general elections. Then we also have the Nairobi and diaspora, where Nairobi Raila Amolo Odinga got 57% and diaspora he got 62%. That means the united opposition will also need to gain as much and even more percentage if they were to defeat President William Ruto. And according to the statistics, President William Ruto's stronghold was Eastern. He got Marsabit 51%, Isiolo 54%, Meru 78%, Tharaka-Nithi 89%, and Embu 85%. Therefore, united opposition, if they want to defeat President William Ruto, they will need to decampaign him in Eastern region. Eastern region is Marsabit, Isiolo, Meru, Tharaka-Nithi, and Embu. The united opposition will have to do that. And also we have the central Mount Kenya, Nyandarua County, President William Ruto got 78%, Nyeri 83%, Kirinyaga 84%, Murang'a 81%, Kiambu 73%. And therefore, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua coming out as Mount Kenya leader and claiming that Mount Kenya is fully behind DCP and President Uhuru Kenyatta. Therefore, their role will be to decampaign President William Ruto from Mount Kenya and lower this percentage of votes from him. We also have the Rift Valley, where West Pokot, President William Ruto got 63%, Uasin Gishu 77%, Elgeyo Marakwet 96%, Nandi 91%, Baringo 80%, Laikipia 70%, Nakuru 66%, Kericho 95%, Bomet 95%. Therefore, President William Ruto commands a strong base in Rift Valley, and united opposition's task will be to lower his influence in Rift Valley if they want to defeat President William Ruto in the 2027 general elections. We also have President William Ruto gaining 63% in Bungoma in Western region, and therefore, like we've mentioned before, their Western region seems to be split, and that will be more task for Senator Edwin Sifuna to consolidate the Western vote and ensure President William Ruto does not get majority of the votes in any of the counties. And so what does this mean for 2027? It means that the opposition currently holds strong influence in Nyanza, Western Coast, Northeastern, Ukambani, and Nairobi, while the ruling coalition maintains strength in Mount Kenya, Rift Valley, and parts of Eastern. And strategic reality is that for Kalonzo and Sifuna to win, they must maintain their opposition base fully, expand into Mount Kenya, and reduce Rift Valley dominance, and unify Western and Gusii votes, because without this, reaching the 50% plus one becomes extremely difficult. And the key factors to consider is Mount Kenya alignment and turnout must be consistent. We all know former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, Mount Kenya was rallied their support against him by claiming that he was a devil worshipper and that if he gains power, he's going to ruin the businesses of Mount Kenya people, and therefore Mount Kenya turned out in large votes to vote for President William Ruto, and this strategy has worked. But today, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is not going to be there on the ballot. Therefore, Mount Kenya will still be required to turn out in large numbers if they want to send President William Ruto out of office. The second factor is the Western Luhya vote needs to be consolidated. As we've discussed there, Western vote seems to be divided. There's this faction that is commanded by President William Ruto, and through his allies, CS Musalia Mudavadi and Speaker Honorable Moses Wetangula. Therefore, Western vote is going to be a factor in that they need to be united under one candidate. And then there's also the Gusii political direction. We all know President William Ruto right now is in Gusii region, and Dr. Fred Matiang'i is from the Gusii region. Therefore, they will need to be united. And we know Governor Simba Arati is siding with President William Ruto. Therefore, Gusii region is also divided, and they will need to be unified. They'll need to be unified and voting as one bloc should united opposition have more influence in Gusii region. And lastly, there's a strong election day coordination. We all know there's about 55,000 polling stations as announced by ABC. That will mean every presidential candidate and every aspirant and political leader running will need to have voter agents in the polling stations, which could cost a lot of money because the process of election takes about 3 days. There's the day before the election, the day of the election, and the day after the election. And that means paying your agents for the 3 days of working there. We all know the stories of Azimio. They were scheduled to win the 2022 general elections, but stories emerged that the polling agents were never paid, and their payments were, their funds were mishandled. And therefore they ended up being compromised, and that could explain how most of them ended up giving up their roles and being swayed by the opposition to turn the election otherwise. Therefore, this could be a key factor. Whoever is going to win the next 2027 election will be determined by how well coordinated they are on the election day. And therefore, the united opposition have a big task in hand in ensuring that they're well coordinated during the election day. There's also the Gen Z factor. Many Gen Z voters are considered less tribal, more issue-driven, and highly digital. And the question is, will they vote as a united bloc, or will they follow traditional patterns? Let me know in the comment section, guys. What are your thoughts? Who are the Gen Z supporting? It is believed that the Gen Z are fully behind Senator Edwin Sifuna, but many are beginning to question: is the Gen Z vote fully behind Senator Edwin Sifuna? Will they vote as a unified bloc, or will they follow traditional patterns? Let me know in the comment section. And so what we're seeing here is not just politics, it's the early formation of 2027 alliances. The Kalonzo-Sifuna discussion signals a possible generational plus experience combination, but success depends on unity, strategy, numbers, and execution. And therefore, fellow viewers, let me know, should Kalonzo and Sifuna team up in 2027 elections? What are your thoughts? Do you think Senator Edwin Sifuna teaming up with Honorable Kalonzo-Musyoka, will they be able to defeat President William Ruto in 2027? Let me know in the comment section. And the second question, who should lead the opposition leader? Who should lead the opposition ticket? If not Senator Edwin Sifuna and Kalonzo-Musyoka, who else should lead the opposition ticket? Should Kalonzo pair up with Matiang'i, or should Matiang'i pair up with Gachagua? Should what other combination do you believe is going to put up a strong force against President William Ruto? Let me know in the comment section. And also, can online polls reflect real election outcomes? Let me know. The Mizani Africa poll, can it reflect on the election date? Let me know in the comment section. And if you watched this video up to this point, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel. And remember, we don't just follow politics, we question it. And as usual, stay informed, stay critical, and stay tuned to Sikiliza TV. My name is Wilson Ochar. It has been my time. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sikiliza TV. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.